Welcome into the Cowboys Report. Before we get into some mailbag questions, the CD's Nuts t-shirts are still out there at redpegtees.com. Is it a little inappropriate? Maybe, but it's funny, and that's what matters. We're not going to be too PC here. Go get yours today at redpegtees.com. Don't forget to use that promo code REDPEG20 at checkout to save 20%. From Feed 21, I saw Diggs listed as a starter at cornerback with Anthony Brown. I think Diggs could be elite, but what do you think about him instead of Cheeto? Well, as a reminder, folks, the unofficial depth chart is just that. It's unofficial and it's not always right. I do think Diggs is going to start games this year. And I want everyone to think about the defensive scheme more as 3 cornerback focused than 3 linebacker focused. That's what the Cowboys will be in most of the time. So my expectation here is, especially early on, it's going to be in some order, some lineup, Diggs, Brown, and Cheeto out there, but I am curious week 1 to see what that exactly looks like for the Dallas Cowboys. Another super chat from D-Lunatic. More Cowboys rushing touchdowns or receiving touchdowns on Sunday night? I'm going to go receiving. I think that's, normally the safe bet. Just historically speaking, you're normally going to have more passing touchdowns than rushing touchdowns. A lot of it depends on the red zone efficiency. My suspicion is that you might see Dak use his legs, or I should say get to use his legs more in the red zone this year. But at least for week 1, I am going to go with more receiving touchdowns than rushing touchdowns against the LA Rams. Speaking of the game, predict the score. Cowboys at the Rams. I assume you're all going to pick the Cowboys, but I want you all to head down to the pinned comment and get your votes in, especially if you hit with the ad break here on YouTube. What will be the final score this week of the Cowboys against the Rams? From Feed 21, thoughts on Hill starting at defensive tackle. Again, I know he was listed as the defensive tackle starter. It's going to be a rotation. It legitimately might be like a 50% rotation. He's going to get some playing time. He is ahead of Neville Gallimore right now at defensive tackle, but I think you'll see a lot of Tyrone Crawford there as well. I just want Trystan Hill to be better. He's not going to be an overnight, sudden superstar defensive tackle. But if he can be serviceable, I'll feel a lot better than what we got last year out of him. From King J, thoughts on the weekly captain's philosophy. It's different. I think it allows chances for more players to get involved in that leadership role. I am curious to see how it affects the team. If it affects the team, I still think you're going to have more of your typical leaders during the week, since that won't be voted on for Saturday. But it gives a chance for more players to get, recognition and leadership chances this season. All right, from Alan Williams, do you know Mark Holmes? He's a Cowboys YouTuber. I want to say both you and him doing an excellent job. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate the super chat and that you're subscribed. You guys are the absolute best. And I hope you all can join us for our live watch party, Cowboys at the Rams. It's the perfect companion viewing piece for the actual game. We have some fun. Get to drink a little bit of beer as well. If, of course, you're actually 21 years old. So if you haven't already, subscribe today. Still doing the rule, drink every time there's an Earl Thomas question. This might have to stick around going forward, folks. I'm going to be hammered during the watch party. Do you think Earl Thomas gets signed after week 1 with the vested veteran contract thing? I mean, it's possible. If the Cowboys are going to do it, that's the path they've set themselves up for. They're not going to sign him this week. Maybe Monday it suddenly makes some sense. Maybe they want to see how Darian Thompson looks like on the field. It is possible, but I do not think this is some grand scheme by the Cowboys of, we've locked this in. I don't think Earl would like that very much, and he's had his own off-field issues, so I think it's the off-the-field stuff that's a bigger concern right now for the Cowboys. From Robert Baldwin, if the Cowboys' defense sucks this year, what can we do to fix it? Oh, boy, great question. I think it depends on how they suck, right? Like, is it because the pass rush is bad? If so, well, Everson Griffin probably didn't work out. Probably got to draft an early round guy there. If the linebackers are bad again, that's a major concern. That's actually probably the worst case outcome. because those guys are young and locked onto your team. If the secondary's bad, it's probably like the pass rush. The most likely outcome, folks, throw draft picks at it. Hope you're able to find some successful players and then develop them along and get them to make a bigger impact. Kevin Mendez, you think Michael Brockers is watching the show right now? I think he is. I think we have some secret Rams, scouts and players trying to glean all the information that they possibly can here from this matchup, because Michael Brockers said he's been watching Cowboys YouTube videos. And he means me, because ain't no one gets more views than us here at the Cowboys Report. So I think Michael Brockers is watching right now. So everyone in the comments say hi, Michael, for me. While you're down there, go ahead and predict the score, Cowboys against the Rams. I'm going to stick by my score prediction this week, 31-24. It's going to be sloppy. There's going to be some ugly mistakes. That's what happens when there's no preseason, and the Cowboys basically haven't been tackling all offseason. There's going to be some bad moments, folks, but just keep that in mind. It's going to be like that across the NFL this year. From King J, so excited to see an actual head coach on the sidelines who will make adjustments, manage game situations, and better not clap for stupid plays. First off, put the clap emoji in the comments if you guys want. The funny and biggest problem for the Cowboys is that the Cowboys took play calling duties away from Jason Garrett so he could focus more on being the walk-around head coach and making adjustments and managing the game situations. And then he never got better at that. So they took away the reason that they hired him, which was his play calling ability, and then he never got better at the adjustments and, icing your own kicker and never taking responsibility for stuff. It was not great, folks. Now, I'm excited for CeeDee Lamb, by the way, as I'm sure many of you guys are as well. So go get yourself a CeeDee's Nuts t-shirt at redpegtees.com. You can use promo code REDPEG20 at checkout. I've got CeeDee in all my fantasy leagues this year because he's a great late-round pick, and I'm going to rock the t-shirt if and when we win that championship. It's CeeDee's Nuts t-shirt, plus some Dallas Mavericks ones as well, folks, at redpegtees.com. Who's covering the Rams tight end? Higbee. Tyler Higbee is their tight end. Great question. It depends on if things are a zone or a man-to-man look. If things are more zone, it'll be your nickel corner, it'll be some safety help, some linebacker. It will never just be one guy. That's not how the NFL works. If and when they go man-to-man looks, my suspicion, and I will have to see if I'm right in week one, is maybe Daryl Worley, who has the size you want. Maybe he could be a potential tight end. I'm not going to use the word stopper. I'm going to use the word limiter because I don't think there's a true tight end stopper on this team, but tight end limiter for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, we just passed $100 in Super Chats today. You guys are the best. I love you all. Thank you so much. Do we see Anai get any pass rush snaps in his first game? Is he active? If he is active, then yes, probably. If he's not active, well, then no, of course not. I think early on, it's going to be Anai, some special teams duty, maybe on some kick and punt block coverages and all of that. Maybe late in game, if it's a blowout, in that case, if Anai's active, for sure you'll see him. I don't think you're going to see Anai suddenly be inserted as a potential specialist for pass rush because you have guys who are better at him than that right now. All right, producer Brett did not want to show this one to me. Paul Zamora says, Earl Thomas, drink now. Thank you, Paul. Corey, okay, so we're up to 2. Does Earl Thomas like wings? That's just a lame question to give me to drink. Corey, now listen here, Corey. I appreciate it. I always like a cold beer. No, it's very warm. Very warm and got caught in the pipe. It was not great. Not great at all. All right, Stephanie wants to know if there is a minimum deposit on... Stephan, wow. Or Steven. I am so sorry. We are off to a horrible start here, so we'll take it from the top again. Stephen McLean wants to know if there is a minimum deposit on BetUS. In order to get the jersey and the 125% deposit bonus, it is $100. So if you have questions, my friend, hit me up on Twitter at whatgoingdowny. Again, it's chatsports.com/bet. That promo code is Cowboys125. By the way, I also want to shout out Paul Zamora, Rodney Lloyd, and Anthony Blow. Those names were much easier for me. Your jerseys are on the way. Stay tuned for a DM from me. I'll get you guys the tracking as well. But thank you guys for signing up. And if you want in, they still got 5 jerseys left. So hit me up on Twitter at whatgoingdowny with those details. All right, Dominic Jackson, how many yards/touchdowns for Tony Pollard this year? I mean, you're all going to say I'm going too low. I think for Pollard, I just want to see him be used a little bit more consistently. I mean, last year he had over 100 touches. I think he can get to 125-ish, especially if you want to count some special team stuff. Touchdowns, honestly, if he gets 4, I'm going to be ecstatic. I think you can utilize Pollard honestly almost as like your flex receiver running back, 6th option in terms of offense, but he's not going to replace Zeke. Not yet. That doesn't make sense for this team. Zach Smallwood, will Chat Sports have a watch party tonight? Yes, we will. Harrison Graham, he's going to be live on our Chiefs channel. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. He'll be live during the Chiefs game and the Texans game, breaking it down, probably having a few of these beers as well. Armando Quintana says, Chug, here's to you, my friend. Thanks for the super chat. I need another beer. Do you think E.T. believes in ghosts, aliens, or Santa? Santa, no. He's a grown man. Oh, crap. There it is. Shit. Santa's real, kids. I promise you. Let's just move on to Brokov. J. Lou, a 5th, and Cedric Wilson for Edelman, so he can be wide receiver 4. I don't know. First off, why are the Patriots taking that deal? Lewis a 5th and Cedric Wilson for Edelman. Also, giving up multiple assets for a number 4 receiver, if everyone's healthy, doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, my friend. All right, Orville Lawrence, why won't the Cowboys sign Eric Reid? Great question. You can make that question as I get my other beer. I'm down a sip. I don't know why Eric Reid remains unsigned. Like, he should be out there. Like, he is at maybe not a full, top 30 safety, but he's top 90. It blows my mind that he's unsigned at this point. All right, Ryan O, as I get a sip here of my beer. How much of a detriment do you think Looney, Irving, and Gifford will have on the Cowboys? I'm going to answer this as how much of a detriment will not having Frederick, Lael Collins, and Sean Lee out there, because I think that's a little mean to those 3 guys. You're going to miss Frederick, but Looney at least can be serviceable, and I think having Zach Martin's more important. You're going to miss Lael Collins because Cam Irving sucks. And Luke Gifford, I'm not worried about. Like, he's not your 4th linebacker right now. He's like linebacker 5. So I'm not worried too much about him. All right, over to Steven again. Thank you, my friend. Gallup, McLaurin versus the Eagles, or Diggs versus the Jets this week in fantasy. Who gets the start? I'm going to go Diggs. I just think that when you look at the matchups here, I'm not overly concerned about Gallup. I think he's probably my number 2, and I am very much actually excited to see what McLaurin can do this year. But he's going to get Darius Slay. I don't like that matchup for McLaurin. Most weeks I'd probably go him. This week I'll go Diggs because the Jets have no good corners, Gallup, and then McLaurin. So who will be the Cowboys' number 1 receiver in week 1? I think it's Amari Cooper. Well, type in your AC. I think it's Michael Gallup. Type in your MG. If it's CeeDee Lamb, type in your CL. Get your votes in for me in the comments section. I might go Michael Gallup this week just because I think Cooper will mostly get Jalen Ramsey. From Fat Sushi Man, with the recent defensive line signings, do you think we should have kept Byron Jones? We're far enough into the main cut that people won't listen to it. You should have paid the corner over the back. But the back forced your hand, and you wanted to make sure that you had every opportunity for Jason Garrett to capitalize in one last year, so you caved into the RB when the cornerback would have been more impactful. That's my thoughts there. All right, the one mask. Who will make a comeback from last year? Producer Brett, who I will give credit to, mentioned Trysten Hill. Hope that's the case. Comeback player of the year. I think Aldon Smith will factor into that discussion, at least because he's a Cowboys player. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.